Today I'm going to show you how to set up an entire funnel in the Facebook Ads Manager for your e-commerce business. My name is Andrea. I have a marketing agency and advertising agency. I've been running ads for e-commerce brands and for all type of businesses with all purposes for the last 3 years. And that's my passion. That's what I love to do. So that's why I enjoy a lot creating content for my community. And today I want to do this setup of the advertising funnel, and I want to do this walkthrough tutorial with you because I know that it could be really confusing in the beginning when you're a business owner trying to do it by yourself. So you know what? Without further ado, let's get started here. So here we are in the Ads Manager. This is one of the accounts that I have. I have multiple accounts. I have accounts that I use to run ads for myself, and also I run ads for multiple other businesses. But I also like to create backup accounts because with Facebook you could get at any time disabled or your account restricted. So you want to have a backup account in case that thing happened, because it could take some time, especially right now during the holidays, to get your ad account back and running. So it's good to have a backup account. I have this one account here, and let's start for the top of the funnel. So this is going to be super quick. You're going to be blown away for how quick is this, but I actually think that doing this setup is faster than the previous work that you have to do before running ads on Facebook, but we're gonna dive into that pretty soon. So in the top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, middle of the funnel, we're gonna use 3 campaigns: top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. All 3 campaigns are going to have conversions as the events that we're looking, the objective campaigns, forget that. So we're gonna have all of those 3 campaigns as conversions. We're going to start first with the conversions campaign for the top of the funnel. So once there, you click continue, and then you're immediately gonna be looking at the 3 levels of the ads that you're going to have to create. So just a quick explanation in case you never have seen the Ads Manager. In the campaign level is where you're going to choose the objective of your campaign, whether it's brand awareness, conversions, whether it's leads. This is changing a little bit. Maybe for the next year I'm gonna have to repeat this tutorial because the Ads Manager is going to start looking much different, and you're gonna have less campaign objectives in the future. But for now, here we're going to choose conversions if that's what we want. Like, let's say if I have an e-commerce brand and I want to get more sales, I don't need to go for brand awareness or traffic, even though those objectives could be cheaper in terms of getting results. I need to go in this case for conversions if what I want is to increase sales. So in the campaign level, we're going to choose that campaign objective. And I come in the campaign here. I usually like to name the campaigns right away, and I actually have like convention system going on to name this campaign. So in the first one I will TOF conversions, so it's top of the funnel conversions, but I also am going to put AVO because this is going to be this type of campaign. I'm going to dive into what is AVO, what is CVO in a little bit when we are in the ad set level. But for now, I like to mention it, to put the name like this, because we're gonna use a campaign that where we're going to be putting the budget manually in the ad set level instead of relying on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to dive in that in a little bit. In categories, I don't need to put anything. Auction time, I'm just gonna keep it like that. Campaign objective, I'm gonna keep it like that. And then I could add a campaign spending limit. I usually don't have that, so I just can keep going. And then there is an option here, the last option, that says campaign budget optimization. So this option, I can turn it on or turn it off. It has an effect in your account the way if you use this or not. But I'm going to. Okay, what is the effect? let's explain what is the effect. So the difference between turning this on or turning it off is that if I have it on, I'm going to be relying on Facebook's algorithm to distribute my budget, right? So if I go for that option, let's say I'm gonna spend a daily budget of $20 and I'm gonna create 5 ads with 5 ad sets, what Facebook is going to do is going to be is going to be putting the budget in the ad set that seems more profitable, and also in the ads that seems more profitable, depending on the metrics that Facebook uses to determine that. If I turn this off, then I am going to be in control of how much money each ad set is going to be spending. So if I have 5 ad sets, which are 5 audiences, 5 different audiences, I can distribute this $20 campaign or this $20 budget that I have into these 5 audiences, which will be $4 per audience. So I will have the control of that instead of Facebook having it, and I will determine how much money is spent in each ad set. Whether when you do it with CBO, Facebook decides if it's going to put $6 in one ad set or $2 in another ad set, and so on. So for now, in the first campaign, when I am just starting, I always start by doing an ABO, which means that I'm going to be putting the budget in the ad set level, ad set budget optimization. That's what stands for, instead of campaign budget optimization. In this stage, I want to do it like this because I want to make sure that I'm testing different interests. And okay, we're gonna dive into that. So once I finish here, it's just next. It's gonna be a matter of 2 minutes. Then in the ad set level is where we're going to be selecting the audience that we want to target. So let's start by naming the ad set level. I usually like to name the ad set level with a format too, with the conventions, and I like to put the interest or the age and country of these audience. So let's say I'm targeting people in the United States 18 plus, and then 18 and up, and then the interest, I'm not gonna use any. Let's say I'm gonna go broad with this one, but I want to dive a little bit more in that type of broad interest and things in a little bit. So keep in mind that this audience is going to be broad interest, broad, 18 plus, broad. Okay, then I'm going to conversion event, website, yes, and probably it's going to look a little bit different for you because this ad account is actually not connected with Shopify, so it's not pulling the events here, but right here you should be able to select the event that you want to get there, which is going to be purchases. So right there, here, select purchases, and then this one is not like that because this account is not connected to any website. As you can see here, I have to create the pixel, etc. But for now, for you at home, if you have already your Shopify connected to your ad account, here select the conversion event that you're looking for, in this case purchases, or if you are a little bit more experienced or want to try something else, you can also use add to cart, but to start, let's go for purchases. Then I keep this off, and then conversion optimization for ad delivery, I keep it in conversions. I don't have any cost controls here yet. And then I like to keep these 7 days attribution, saying 7 days after clicking of 1 day after viewing, which means that this is the attribution that the ads manager is going to use to determine when your conversion happened and to give you that data, right? So right now, how the Facebook Ads Manager work due to the different updates in the iOS 14 and 15 and 16, all the iOS, the reporting is a little bit off, but you still want to have this set up in this way, so at least you get some data there. And then delivery type standard, etc. I keep that this way. Then in the daily budget, let's say if I have $100 per day in my budget, what I want to do with a new account is to put most of my budget in the top of the funnel, because it's going to be the most expensive campaign, is where I'm going to be acquiring all my new clients. So I'm going to be basically targeting cold targeting, and that's much expensive because also I'm competing with other businesses trying to do the same. So I'm going to put, in this case, let's say I have $100, I'm going to put $90 in the top of the funnel, because it's a brand new campaign with a business, let's say, that never did ads before. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to put $90 in the top of the funnel, which gives me around $10 per ad set that I could test. So that would be around 9 ad sets to test. So I could put here $10, and then I like to schedule my ads always to start the next day at midnight, and also turn them off kind of like with the same, like at midnight. I have a couple of rules that help me to turn the ad sets automatically at midnight, so I don't have to be at midnight here in the ads manager. But I'm going to teach you that in another tutorial, how to use those automated rules. For now, I like to start these at midnight because that gives me like a window of 24 hours to every time compare every ad set, so I can compare based on like the same amount of time the ads have been running. And then ads scheduling, ads running all the time. Here in custom audiences, I'm not gonna put anything because this is a cold targeting. And here, this is important is if you only sell products in the United States, I highly recommend you that you in the location select only people living in this location, because this way you're not going to be spending money showing ads to people who are not in the location that you are, who maybe were just traveling there to the United States, and if you don't sell the product outside of the United States, then you're going to be wasting money because they're not going to be able to purchase the product, right? Then I keep this 18 to 65. If you have certainty that your target audience is mostly female or male, I highly recommend you to put this right away from the beginning instead of going for all genders. But if not, you can continue like that. And then yeah, I could go for automatic placements in the first one. But what I want to do with automatic placements is kind of like show my ads all over the place, and then when I have some data of how the ads perform, I'm just going to keep the placements that seem better for me, that bring me some sales or that have a better ad delivery. So that's what I'm going to do. For now, I can keep it in automatic placements and then click next. I hope I didn't forget anything there. Then I'm going to name these ads. So the name of the ad, that's something that I also keep in a naming convention, in a convention way. I hope that makes sense, but I have a convention. So let's say I'm running an ad that has promotion for an ebook that I am promoting. So I'm gonna put ebook. I like to put everything in lowercase. Ebook ad 1. And I kind of want to have some certainty about what is this ad about and stuff. So I like to put sometimes other details, like if, for example, I'm using a blue background, I like to put that in the name. So when I'm checking the data, I am able to remember that this is the ad. And if I have multiple versions of the ad, putting these other details in the name is going to help me to have a better track of that. Then here I'm just gonna select, make sure that my identity, my Facebook page and my Instagram are fine. And then I can click here, create ad. I can use single image carousel, and then boom, add media, images, and call to action. So for these ones, I don't have anything prepared. So something that I could do here is actually just leave it like that. Okay, yeah, before that. So don't forget that you have to add here the primary text, add images or videos, add your headline, your description. I mean, that's something that I usually have already on a draft. So when I'm here in the ads manager, all I have to do is copy paste. For today, I didn't bring any examples, but I just want to do the setup of this, because if you do this setup, then you can add the copy and the other stuff on top of the setup and then polish everything. For now, I'm just gonna keep it like that, and then when you're here sending to a website, just make sure that your pixel is firing well, and then boom, there we have it. We have a top of the funnel campaign, right? So in the top of the funnel, what I do is usually I create all the ads inside one ad set, and once I finish with the setup of all the ads, so say I have 3 ads, I create my 3 ads here I don't have to hit the publish button there. I don't know if you noticed, but I just click edit and then I just click the X up here, and then that's gonna be there. It's not gonna be deleted because it's going to be as a draft. So that is saved as a draft. I can go and edit that ad at any time. But if I published this ad after I edit, then I'm not gonna be able to. I could make changes, but that's gonna kind of like could break the ad, because then the ads manager is going to be like, okay, she launched an ad, but then she made some changes, and that could like mess up the ads manager. So that's why I don't publish until I am 100% sure that the ads are ready to go. So once I finish my ads here, what I'm going to do is take this ad set and I'm going to duplicate that ad set. Depending on my budget, I'm gonna duplicate it X amount of times. So as we say with the example that I have, we have a $100 budget, so that gives me around $80 to play with the top of the funnel. So I'm gonna duplicate this same ad set 8 times more, and then this ad set already is going. The new ad sets are going to contain the ads that I created. So all I have to do is change the settings in the ad set level. So for example, here it says US 18, and instead of going broad in this one, I'm going to go for interest targeting. I know that a lot of people say that targeting single interest is not effective in Facebook ads, but my data from my clients, from the clients that we work with at my agency, show a different story, and I tried to go only broad before in the past and didn't work that well. So I kind of like to stick to what works for me. It could be different for you, but for me this has been working and keeps working, so I'm gonna keep using this method because it's what it works and what delivers results for my clients. Of course I want them to be happy, so I'm going to just do what I do well. So in the interest targeting, let's say if I'm going to target people who are into Shopify as an interest. So I put there US 18, Shopify, then I keep everything else the same. And then in the detailed targeting here is where I'm going to start playing around, and I'm going to put Shopify as the interest. Sometimes you gotta kind of like wait a little bit, because you see how I wrote Shopify and the interest didn't show up. But then I kind of like deleted a couple letters, and then there is Shopify, and I want to make sure that it's interest, like here it says that there is an interest. Boom. So that's great. Estimated audience size 7 to 8.3 million. This is an estimated. I like to keep in my estimated, depending on my budget, less than 10 million people, because my ad with that budget is not going to reach that many people, depending on how many ads I have in each ad set. The distribution of the money is going to be more or less, I don't know how to explain it, but the distribution of the money in the ad is going to have an effect on like how many people the ad reach. So let's say if I have a $10 budget and I have 3 ads, then $3.33 will be spent in each ad. So that gives me some leverage there. But if I have like 8 ads with a $10 budget per ad, so that is less than $1 per ad, and that's gonna take me more time to get some results, at least to compare and turn things off and optimize. So for now I want to keep it simple, 3 ads or 1 ad or 2 ads. So I like to keep things under a 10 million people mark. Then I don't have to do anything there. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So there is a possibility that you could have here the option of clicking detailed targeting expansion, which is going to be Facebook delivering your ad to the people that are outside of your targeting settings. But Facebook is going to do it when it seems that it could improve the performance of your ads. Sometimes that works for some accounts, sometimes doesn't work. What I've seen is that with dropshipping accounts, sometimes that works, having that clicked, but in general it doesn't really work for me. However, Facebook is gonna make it a default setting. How it's in this account, I cannot even see the option of putting it on and off. So it's going to be a default setting starting 2022 for all accounts. So maybe if you want to click that off for now and test it out, that would be super cool for you. Just be aware that eventually it's not gonna be more an option anymore. So then, okay, US Shopify, all I did here was to change the name and the detailed targeting. Then I'm going to go to the other audience, and let's say I have here, instead of Shopify, I'm going to e-commerce. Boom. Then change this here. E-commerce interest. Boom. This one is a little bit bigger, but you know, let's test it out. And then e-commerce. Okay, so here, for example, I don't have other ideas of what else to target. So what I'm going to do here is going to write again Shopify. And then when I click that interest, do you see how it says suggestions here? So I'm gonna click that, and there is other interest. So what I do is to collect all those interests in a spreadsheet, and I put what is the size of every interest, and then when I am allowed to set up the ads, I just have to go to that spreadsheet and copy paste the interest that I have there. In this case, I'm just putting here the example, so I'm just gonna put WooCommerce there, and this ad set is going to be US 18 WooCommerce. WooCommerce. Okay, perfect. That's it. Just want to make sure that I did well. Yeah. So then the next one is going to be drop shipping. I saw that was another interest there. So then I did drop shipping and drop shipping down here. Drop shipping interest. Beautiful. All right. So for now, what I'm going to do is to just keep these ad sets here, so I don't go super long with this setup. And I'm going to click these other ones. This one, no. These ones that say copy, because those are the copied ones. And then what I'm going to do is I click edit and I click discard draft. So that's just gonna discard those ones that I just clicked, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interests. So that's gonna be spending $50 per day. And then what I'm going to do is create another campaign. It's going to be conversions, continue, and this one is going to be my middle of the funnel here. Oh my gosh, sometimes I don't know what happens. So I put email, ADO, conversions. No. Anything else keeps being the same. Next. And then here I'm going to put this warm retargeting. So depending on how is your business and in your data, you're going to need a middle of the funnel, or you may not need a middle of the funnel campaign. What is going to make the difference, or what's gonna tell you you need a middle of the funnel campaign? That's also something that you gotta check from your experience, how much explanation your client needs of your product. I am trying to say this the best way possible, but what I've seen is that products that are more kind of like innovating or that need more explanation, let's say I sell Facebook ad services, I've seen that my audience needs a lot of education about my product because it's new, there is a lot of doubts about it, people don't understand really well how this works, so I need to educate them before they make a purchase decision. So I need a middle of the funnel, and those ads are going to help me to kind of like keep educating them before making them an offer, kind of like letting them know what is this about, how this thing works. Then let's say you sell something with your e-commerce, you're selling something like a collagen product, or you're selling something that is like a piece of clothing that is made especially from someone in a super remote region of the world, and you know, like you're trying to also spread awareness about the culture of these people. Maybe you're going to need a middle of the funnel. But then let's say if you sell a product that is like clothing, fast fashion, what I've seen is that you need a middle of the funnel because people kind of like get it right away. So you need only top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel, and in the bottom of the funnel you retarget everybody, including people who visited your website, who added to cart, etc. But here we're going to do this with a middle of the funnel, and in this middle of the funnel what I'm going to do is set this middle of the funnel at $5, because in the beginning I don't have that many people to retarget, so $5 could be pretty good. Even like $3 could be good to retarget the people who already saw my ads. So that's in the beginning. With time, as you start running ads more and more and growing your community, you want to put a little bit more of money in your retargeting ads, and then kind of like redistribute your entire budget, because then you're gonna have a pool of people to reach out to. So you're gonna need to put a little bit more of money on that, but it's something that is going to happen gradually, or like not one day to another. It's going to be happening over time, so you gotta keep an eye on the data. Then put here 20, and then set up those ads at midnight. Boom. In the location, again, I'm just gonna put people living in the United States. And here in the custom audiences, I don't have any audiences here, but I'm going to make another tutorial for you. And here you want to target the people who engage with your Instagram and Facebook for the last 365 days. So you're gonna have to create those custom audiences, people who visited your website, who view content on your website, and people who view videos from you before. So if you are creating constantly on Instagram, you want to go and make a custom audience of people who view those videos, let's say 25% or 50% of these videos, who watched those videos in the past, and then you're gonna put this custom audience here, because those are people who already have some knowledge about your brand, have some engagement, so they are going to see you again, and then you can make them an offer when they are more likely to make a purchase, when they have that higher intent by, let's say, adding to the cart of your website one or more than 2 times. For now, here, to keep it really clear, I don't have those custom audiences set up here, but you have to add people who visited your website, or website visitors from the last 180 days, people who engage with your Instagram and Facebook for the last 365 days, and people who view your videos, and I will select all the videos from all times here. I hope that I'm not forgetting anyone here, but in case I'm forgetting, just let me know in the comments, like, hey, I'm trying to forget someone. But those will be what I would use in my middle of the funnel. And then in the automatic placements here, what I would do is that, depending on the data that I gather from my top of the funnel, I could change here the placements and go for manual placements, and looking for only show my ads in those placements when I see that people in my audience hang out the most, right? So in this case, what I've seen with the performance of my campaigns is that usually going for Facebook and Instagram, for the Facebook feed, for the Instagram feed, and for the, I'm just gonna deselect this, Instagram stories and Facebook stories seems to be really, really good. I also like to try reel ads, but I like to do that in a separated audience, because reels, they have a lot of views, but I'm not completely sure how is yet the consumer behavior in terms of buying a product from the reels, right? I see like the reels are more organic, so you can really reach a lot of people with just creating organic reels. But if you want to reach more people, you can definitely click this one. I just don't use it as much. Then this is it, and there we go. So here the custom audiences will be the only thing that I would add on top of that, and then boom, next. And then here I'm just gonna make sure that I name my ad like retargeting 1. So that's pretty much it. Select the page, and then add your stuff, your ad thing, and boom, there you have it. Alright, so far we have created the top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel. So now what we're going to do, just gonna X out of here, going to do is create a bottom of the funnel, click continue, then here I'm gonna call it BOF, and also conversions. Conversions, campaign by optimization, no, next. And then here, what I'm going to do, retargeting, which is going to indicate that these are the, this is going to be the ad set of the people, the audience that is hotter, like it's super hot, that is almost ready to buy. So here I'm gonna put $5. I could even put less here, $3, because that's gonna be the retargeting of like the most engaged people, the most engaged. Sorry for my English if it's broken. Sometimes it breaks. So remember the dates. In these here, I'm just gonna make sure this says living in this location. Here, I'm going to add the custom audiences of people who add to the cart 1 or 2 times. You can play around with that. But people who purchased in the past, people who subscribe to my email list, people who bought from me in the past. Okay, yes, I already said that. And okay, people who add to the cart, people who purchased from you in the past, and people from your email list. You can also add people who viewed your videos, let's say 95% of your videos. I would also add them there. And yeah, I think those are the audiences that I can remember so far. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Okay, so if you have like different products, if you're creating different audiences for like view content of the specific page of certain product, you can add the people who view that product here, right? But if not, just keep it simple for now and just add the people who purchased from you in the past email list, and add to carts. People who add to a cart, 95%, people who watch 95% of your videos. And that's pretty much it for now, to keep it really simple. Then I keep everything else like that, and then I go again for manual placements, because as I said before, I don't want to be spending my money or kind of like stretching my money to kind of show the ads in all the placements. On the contrary, I want that my money just is being spent in the most profitable placements. And for me, for my experience that I have, those have been mostly the Facebook and Instagram newsfeed and the Facebook and Instagram stories. So that's it. Then click next. Then you're going to continue with the setup of your ads, right? So right now Facebook is telling me there is an error because I actually don't have an actual ad there. And in the ad says we're gonna have this. I'm just gonna put here that is the retargeting hot. Here I'm not gonna put retargeting hot in the name of the ad. What I usually do is, if I am offering a discount, let's say like ebook free, that's my discount. So I'm gonna put it there, and I'm gonna put the other details that to help me to remember about this ad. Background. Done. Free corporate background. So this is my offer, the free. In this way, let's say if I'm testing a free shipping or a 25% discount, I can put here that as a reference for me to have later. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like, we are all set. You can review and publish once you have your ads in the ad level or complete. You can click here, review and publish, and Facebook is gonna tell you if you have some errors here or not. But then you can check everything, and boom, there you go. We have top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, ordering for conversions. And that's a super quick tutorial, but that was pretty much it. I hope that you find it super easy. I usually find this super easy as is now or right now. I've been recording this video for 35 minutes, so that gives you an idea of how long it's going to take you to set up this. I think that is okay if you take your time. I usually take 7 to 10 business days when I am running ads for a client to have those ads up and running. And it is because we have to share a lot of information back and forth about the specifics of the brands. but it's also because we take our time to do our research before jumping on the ads manager and releasing any ad, before launching any ad at all. So that's why I'm saying that it's gonna take you more time to do that previous research than doing this, because as I say, it's just 35 minutes right now that we have been walking through this tutorial, but I hope that I can make it shorter for you when I am editing this video. And I want to know what you think about this setup. Was it easy? Was it hard? Let me know in the comments. This is kind of like a video that I'm trying to make to help the community, because I know that Black Friday, Cyber Monday is coming really soon, and then we have the entire holiday season, and I want you to take advantage of that holiday season. But if you still have problems and you still don't have idea of how to do this, or your brand is very particular and you have different things happening in your ads manager, you can definitely reach out to me, follow me on my Instagram, or text me on my Instagram, or send me an email. I'm gonna leave all my links here in the comment section. And yes, that's pretty much it. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. Of course, let me know what you think, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends if you think this is super useful. And I see you in the next one. Bye bye.